a real pleasure to be here, so thank you very much for inviting me. It looks like I'm going to be doing it without the presentation. Had I known, I might have prepared a song or something, perhaps slightly more entertaining than just me here. I approached the ladies a few months ago now to speak to them about adult and community learning, and they invited me along to one of their meetings, and I had an ever so lovely morning. It was the nicest Monday morning meeting I'd ever been to. There was all sorts of baked treats, and that doesn't normally happen in my job. And they very kindly invited me along to come and talk to you today about adult and community learning and what it is we actually do. ACL is a part of the council. Each council has their own adult and community learning sector, and myself and my colleague Alex, who's down here, work for the Unique Communications Agency. We have been taken on by Surrey County Council to let everybody know the sorts of things you can actually do as part of ACL. It's a fantastic, unbelievable service, but unfortunately not very many people are sort of aware of what they can do, the sort of things on offer, and actually that the cost implications are very, very small. So, it's still not there. It's good to have got a young memory. ACL is basically a non-profit part of the council, so ACL can't earn any money. It is one of the only parts of the council that can charge, but it goes straight back into the service, so they're not making any sort of profit for it. It just goes back in to putting on great courses for people like yourselves. Now, there's different parts of the actual service itself, so it's split into different sectors, and you can do all sorts. You can do arts, cookery, languages, flower arranging, jewellery making, the list goes on. And one of the areas that the ladies were quite interested in was computing. A groan throughout. I'm not sure if that's a good one or a bad one. Yeah, we do lots of fantastic computing courses. Now, some of them are real whiz courses, sort of Photoshop and all things like that, and some of them are very basic, like how to turn on your laptop, which my gran actually did up where I'm from in Newcastle, and is now sort of telling me how to make spreadsheets and things like that. So they are fantastic courses. They are fantastic courses, and you can take part in them for as little as sometimes £5 an hour. There are concessions, and it's 20% off for senior citizens, but I'm sure none of you would be able to claim that. Yeah, there are all sorts of different ones, and they are 7 centres across the whole of Surrey. Now, I'm really going to test my memory and make sure I can remember them. So there's a centre in Guildford, a centre in Woking, a centre in Esher, Molesey, Sunbury, and Camberley, and Farnham. That's 7. Yeah, so they're all over the place. Now, what I've brought along today is I've brought leaflets which you can take, and they've got the local centre on the front of them, and they'll have all of the contact details on for there. And I've also brought the brochures along, which has got a listing of all of our new summer courses. And I'm absolutely convinced that if you try one, you'll sort of stick at it. I think one thing we don't have a problem with at ACL is getting people to come back. Most people sort of do one course and then sort of end up doing them year after year after year. It's just letting people know that they're actually happening. And we've done all sorts of fantastic things to let people know about it. We created something called the Education Station. And we went around town centres and took sort of ladies doing flower arranging and jewellery making to really let people know what you could actually do there. So that's just some of the things we've been doing to let people know. We're going to be taking part in some of the flower shows this year, attending, hopefully meeting some more of you ladies and gentlemen to let you know about the different things that are actually on offer. ACL is a huge part of our heritage. In Britain, we're fortunate enough to have a great education system that can carry on way into adulthood. I think our eldest learner is 95, and he actually did a computer course as well. So we're really fortunate that we have these sort of opportunities to continue with learning, and I really came to speak to the WI originally because we were, to be very frank, asking for help. Over the years, I don't know whether it became less fashionable or just people sort of stopped hearing about it. And when there was once 14 centres across Surrey, there's now only 7. And each centre, as well as actually employing people, and people actually have jobs there, it also provides for a lot of people a real source of social activity, and they're sort of going out all of the time, meeting new friends, learning new skills, and keeping themselves busy. And as these centres close, there's a lot of people who are sort of left in the lurch a little bit. So we've come on board to really make sure that no more centres are closing, that in fact more and more people are starting to take part in these courses and really, really get the most out of their council. It's a service that's been put on for you. You know, it's not just a case of it having to tick boxes. Everybody that works in adult and community learning is so passionate about it, and everybody actually does the courses themselves. I am doing a course next week called Easter Entertaining, which my housemates are looking forward to, because I'm promised I'm going to come home with hot cross buns, freshly made. Yeah, and we're all sort of taking part in the courses. We're all really, really passionate about it and doing our bit. And I would absolutely love it if, I mean, there's lots of one-day courses that perhaps you could have a try at and see if it's the type of thing you might be interested in going forward. We have looked at different ways we can work with the WI. You know, we didn't just want to come here and sort of tell you all the things we did. The ladies very tactfully asked me when I went to meet them, what's in it for us and our members? And apart from this opportunity to meet new people and learn new skills, we want to sort of highlight how grateful we are that you've given us the opportunity to come and tell you about it. So there is different things we can do. There is 7 centres across Surrey, like I said, and there's no reason why those spaces couldn't be utilised for things that you're doing as well. Would definitely be interested in having those conversations with you if there's something you need to host there, or if you need to use the space for something like that. There are definitely conversations we can have with the relevant centre managers. On top of that, one of the other things we can do is perhaps put on courses especially for ladies from the WI. So perhaps I could let you know a programme of courses that might be running, and you could, you know, if there's enough uptake, we could make it exclusively for members. There's lots of different options, and what I would just love is for there to be an opportunity for you to actually have a chat with myself and other people who work in the service. When you collect your leaflets, which I hope you all will, there's contact numbers on for all of them, and I know they would be absolutely thrilled to hear from you. Some of the, I don't know if anyone here has ever actually done a course. Has anyone done any adult and community learning courses? There's a few. I would ask you to wave your blue paper if you enjoyed it, but I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. So I won't. Yeah, but hopefully when you have lunch and you have a chance to chat to each other, if you have done one and you did enjoy it, please feel free to sort of share with people how you found it, because I'm really, really confident that if you were to come along and have a try, you would really, really enjoy yourselves. I'm sure there's a million things that I've left out that were in my presentation, which I spent hours creating. And I was actually quite looking forward to coming up here and whizzing through it with the clicker. Ladies, thank you ever so much for your time. It's been a real pleasure to see you all. I was terribly nervous when I got here. I didn't realise there was going to be quite so many. And I think that was probably a good thing, otherwise I probably would have been a lot more nervous. I hope I haven't spoke too fast and that my Geordie accent was actually just a bit of variety rather than trying to understand a foreign accent. But thank you very much. I really hope that you enjoy the rest of your meeting. Unfortunately, I have to jet off to another meeting after this, so I won't be able to stay for the afternoon. But it's been a real pleasure and a real insight to somebody from a younger generation about how this all works, and it's really fascinating to see, and it's lovely to see that so many of you are committed to it and coming out here today. So thank you ever so much for your time.
She's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Didn't Lyndsey do well without her? so late, Lyndsey. As she said, she did come and visit the Board of Trustees, and we asked her if she would like to speak today. I promise you I did not twist her arm to say what fun she had with us. But it did look as though I had, because I had been telling you our meetings are fun, and now you see an outsider has told you that. Now, thank you very much, Lyndsey. The idea was that obviously this no way in any way takes away our dedication to our Denman College and their courses. We just felt that you might be interested for the odd one-day one that's near you or something. And as you heard Lyndsey say, there's these centres which we may be able to use when we want to put on things as well. So thank you for your time today and for coming.